Correct me if I'm wrong, but it really feels like when people say things like the Linux market share will only really expand when gaming comes to Linux, always really kind of made me think that gamers in particularly think that the only thing people do on computers or what they do on computers, which is game. I don't, it's not that I don't game. I have some games I very much like. I am definitely not a gamer, whatever that means. But I have some titles that make me very happy. I don't play them very often, but I like having them there. And now we're in the age where realistically, I can only think of one or two programs that I want to run that either don't have a more than suitable alternative or I have a way of running them. Like we have compatibility layers. Some platforms have moved into the browser anyways, so it's there. And I'm trying to imagine a scenario where people who are trying to get real work done need to worry about gaming. Or, if you work in an office and you're doing spreadsheets, do you need Photoshop to do your spreadsheets? Like, I don't understand where these logics come from. Really, the majority of computers are in the business environment. A lot of these business environments, and this is my full take why Linux has not become mainstream, is because these environments cater around business platforms. And if you look into it, let's say you have like 2,000 workstations you need to come up with. Right now, some of the most affordable and powerful platforms you can get is a combination through an OEM as a business license agreement with Microsoft. So the OEM brings you the hardware, and then in turn they give you, your exchange that you need, the support from Microsoft and the licenses for your desktop operating system and your Office suite. And it's that integration that Microsoft has done with their partners like Dell and Hewlett Packard and all those. And that's the real reason why it's been locked into business. Not because they're better tools, but because their overall package is better. Like you can get a competitive package from a company like Oracle or Dell, but they're not going to have the same OEM hardware partnerships. And let's be real, Microsoft has kind of dominated in the business email for a very long time, even though I see Google catching up, but it's not as clear as day as just swapping the operating system on my machine, because that's just part of the package you're getting. And that to me seems like the bigger obstacle for Linux adoption than just gaming alone. Having said that, there is something to be said about a very popular gaming device running Linux, like the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck, I truly believe the Steam Deck is why we've seen an uptick in overall usage of Linux in the markets, based on, the numbers of devices we see connected. But then there's also this big section called Other. And that section Other, I truly believe that's been Linux for a hot minute. People who are using Linux in a way that just doesn't quite give up the game of what operating system they're running. Because there's a lot of people who are very privacy focused. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't see Linux becoming mainstream in the way that would be ideal, because I'm not entirely sure if that universal ideal is true. I see it if we can build up in the business market share higher instead of general market share, there's going to be a lot more for us, because then you're going to have more OEM partners, you're going to have more software developers, you're going to have more driver developers. We've nailed the gaming platforms. Like there are very few titles now that will not give you a one-to-one or sometimes better experience on Linux. I don't think that was ever really what's holding us back. But of course, any growth is growth, and I will take it. But at the end of the day, ultimately, the operating system doesn't have to be the dominant operating system. It just needs an equal seat at the table. And I think that's where the business market really will propel us. This one's a little off the cuff. I hope it's okay. This is just, I had these ideas. I wanted to get them out and share them with you. And if this video brought you any joy, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you fancy. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.